Hello and welcome to Your Shout. I've got a lot of videos to get through today, so I'm just going to introduce them and let them run. People have had a couple of days to simmer down, so we're getting a bit of a mixed bag. I'm not trying to force an agenda here. Some are pro-Bilic, some are anti-Bilic. Some want to talk about the decisions that the owners are making because, of course, we've just had rumours that there's been a meeting and that he has been given a stay of execution for 3 or 4 games, something like that. We've got Greg from Blowing Bubbles magazine, Chaz, Guy, AJ, Nibbles. Nibbles looks like he's about to throw himself in a canal, and we've got Belfast Hammer. I've got to apologise to Belfast Hammer. I had real trouble stitching the audio and the pictures together, so you just got a still picture. So we're going to look at your face all the way through it, but we've still got the audio there. As ever, please do subscribe. Please keep sending your clips in as well. info@hammerschat.com. The link is below. I'm going to shut up now. Enjoy what the lads have got to say. Until next time, thanks for watching.
Hi, Greg Richardson, Blowing Bubbles magazine here. Just wanted to have my say on the Bilic in, Bilic out kind of debate that's really kicked off since I defeated Newcastle at the weekend. Full disclosure, I'm a big Bilic fan. I think he's an intelligent bloke. I think he clearly knows his football. You can see that in interviews he gives and his punditry work. But I'm struggling to make a case for him at the minute. You could argue that he's not had a home game yet, but Burnley played 2 out of their 3 games away. They picked up 4 points in them games against Chelsea and Tottenham. So looking at that, you can't really use being away as an excuse. And it's not even just about that. It's last season we were pretty shocking most of the season. We're lucky to finish where we did. And sort of last 17, 18 games we've picked up 3-4 wins, something like that, which is, again, not a very good return. I don't really know what our identity is. I don't know what the philosophy Slav wants us to play. I'm not a big Klopp fan. I'm not a big Guardiola fan, but at least their teams know how their manager wants them to play. I'm not sure our boys do. Counter-attacking football seemed to be what worked for us in his first season, but we've lost that strong defence that we had to work on. If we now welcome pressure on, we concede goals. We don't look like being able to turn it around. Players don't seem happy in the positions he puts them in. So, like I say, I'm struggling to see how Slav's going to keep his job. And if he's not going to get through the season, which I think it'd be amazing if he did, then I think we might as well cut our ties now, get a new guy in, let that new person have the squad he's currently got up till Christmas, and then he can look at bringing his own players in January once he knows the squad a bit better. So as much as I'd really like us to stick to our tradition of sticking with our managers and having a geezer that played for the club as well, I'm struggling to see Slav staying in his job. Cheers.
Right. I'm a lot more chilled out about the situation today than I was yesterday. Yesterday, I was double pissed off. But that being said, let me get one thing out of the way straight off the bat. I am very much Bilic out, and I have been since pretty early on last season. I look at what we've gone through in the last couple of years, and I do think a lot of Bilic's success in the first season was down to Payet bailing him out, when in hindsight I think that is a big part of why he was successful. But I think he's got to be sacked. I think he's got to go. It's indefensible. He can't come back from this realistically. I just feel like this is the point where you got to say, right, there's no way you can improve. You've taken us as far as you can take us. Let's move on to the next manager. We lost 3-0 to, in my opinion, as much as I like their fans and I'd like them to stay up, I am going to say it. They're probably the worst team in the Premier League right now, and they beat us 3-0. So what does that make us? It's just frustrating, and with the news around the Carvalho deal, which in my head I still think is going to go through because he wants to move, but with all this faffing it's not happening, and then we're going to lose to Newcastle. It's too much negativity. Conceding 10 goals in 3 games. I called for Hart to be dropped after the Newcastle game. I think that was a bit reactionary. I don't think he should be dropped. But we need some kind of change, and I think the main change we need is the manager. Get rid of him, get someone in now, maybe Thomas Tuchel, hopefully. We can convince him to come. I think he turned down Southampton in the summer, so I hope we can convince him. If not, convince Rafa Benitez to jump ship and come to us. Eddie Howe maybe. But we need some sort of change, and we need change soon.
Good evening, Hammers fans. Yeah, I just want to say that this is a pro Bilic video. I'm in the minority. I'm fully aware of that. I love West Ham, and I am really, really disappointed and let down from what's happening in the last 3 games. More for the result at the Southampton game, not from the performance. I thought it was a heroic 10-man effort. I'm gutted that we didn't get at least a point out of that game. Man United are not the only team they spanked 4-0, but yeah, okay, the performance was still not good enough. We didn't really go there confident enough. And then the last game, Newcastle, was, yeah, basically just been spanked by a relegation favourite. So I'm not happy. I'm just as disappointed as everybody else. But I love West Ham and I really like Bilic. And I think that that's my point of this video, is that I want him to be West Ham manager. I don't want another manager. I want him to be there. Because of what he did 2 seasons ago, I don't care what people say about one season wonder. I don't believe in such a thing. 38 games, it's not. You don't get lucky over those. We were dangerous, and he made us dangerous. He brought the best out of the players, and he took us to a new level that I'd never seen in my time of watching West Ham. I've seen some fantastic players come and go, but as a team, we looked dangerous, and teams didn't want to play us, and that's exactly what I'm going by. I'm having that faith. Last season, it was just shit for lots of reasons, really. I couldn't wait to see the end of it. But let's give him some time. Let's give it 10 games. I want to see Bilic turn it around. I don't want to just get rid of him. And I hope that the ball don't do that, because I don't think that's the answer. If there's one thing that I will admit, with a lot of people who've got something against Bilic, whether it's tactically, strategically, players in the right place, whatever, it looks like a fitness problem is still an issue for me. I'm watching games just like the rest of you fellas, and I'm watching Match of the Days and live games on the Super Sundays and stuff. We look lethargic. That is an issue. I don't understand how that's possible in this day and age. Players are trained, nutritionally looked after, you know, everything you could possibly get in terms of these players right now they're getting. But on match day, we do look sluggish. And I know we've got some slow players. I don't believe that the pace is the real problem. We do need more pace, but I think the real problem is that we just don't look fit enough. Especially the last kind of third of the game, we look like we're running out of steam. And if we've got slow players as well as that, that's a recipe for disaster against some of these teams we're playing against. They're going to rip us to shreds. So I would like to know what that's all about. That is a big issue. But the man himself is the right man for the job, and I believe we're going to beat Huddersfield, and that is going to be the turning point. Yeah, I have every faith. Come on, you Irons.
Not surprised that Bilic's position is being put under review, and I'm not surprised that the 2 Daves are, you know, curious to know what's going on. But when you're 3 games down, bottom of the table, no points, with only a cup game against a League 2 side, which we were going to win anyway, under your belt, you cannot call that your saving grace. So, in my mind, yeah, I don't blame the 2 Daves for getting involved. I also don't blame every single West Ham fan getting up in arms about the run of poor results. Manchester United, yeah, we all knew we were going to lose that game anyway. Southampton definitely should have won. No excuse for a 3-0 defeat. Newcastle, no excuse. For Southampton, no excuse for a 3-2 defeat. Newcastle, no excuse for a 3-0 defeat. And people are messaging me on social media saying, why haven't you put up a video talking about it? Because I don't want to. There is no excuse for this sort of nonsense. I'm hearing through the Daily Telegraph and a couple of other places that Bilic has until the next international break to get things sorted. That's Huddersfield at home, West Brom away, Spurs at home, and another team at home. 3 home games and 1 away game to get things sorted. Personally, it wouldn't surprise me if we lose good 2 or 3 of those games. I'm not optimistic about Bilic at the moment. I'm also not optimistic that we're going to win any of our games between now and then. As far as I'm concerned, Bilic needs to go. But who do we get in? Who would be willing to work with those parameters that the 2 Daves have set down? I don't know. I'm not optimistic at all. I can't even think about who I want to come in because, you know, there's just no way of knowing what's going to happen next. I don't want Bilic to go, but he's got to go. He's not doing us any favours this season. None whatsoever.
I don't think Bilic has a clear strategy on how to take our team forward. I don't think he has a decent defensive strategy, which is surprising, being that he was a defender in his professional footballing career. And I don't think he has a decent attacking strategy as well. He keeps insisting on playing one striker up front. He doesn't like changing his 4-2-3-1 formation. He insists on playing Noble as a centre defensive midfielder instead of playing Obiang and Declan Rice together. Or now Kiarte's back, Obiang and Kiarte together. I don't know why he didn't start those 2 against Newcastle. I think we should have won that game personally. And now we've lost 3 games on the trot in the opening throes of the season, which isn't good. Yes, you can put that down to the fact that we've had a string of away games, but considering we were complaining last season about playing at the London Stadium and it not being our proper home, not feeling like home, I don't think is a decent excuse. I think we could have done better against these smaller teams. I don't know why he keeps insisting on playing Ayew on the wing. He obviously can't play there because he's too slow. I think he's only good at playing as a second striker to Hernandez or to Sacco. Other than that, he's useless. I think Bilic's strategy, in my opinion, is versatility. I think he's trying to create a team whereby he can play players in different positions as and when he wants them to. And I don't think it works. It might work with a couple of players, but the vast majority have their position and should be played there. So, I don't know. And when you look at his history, before he came to West Ham, when he managed Lokomotiv Moscow, they ended up finishing in their lowest position ever in the Russian league. They finished 10th. Besiktas went on to win the league back to back after he left. So whether you can put that down to the fact that Bilic perhaps might be that manager that can leave a foundation for a winning team, that could be it. But being that manager that can take the team further forward, I'm not so sure.
One take on it would be the idea that Bilic was asked to change his coaching staff and basically stood by them. Very admirable, but really his background staff or back staff are not really that good. They did make changes with the physio and so on. Can you or I see any difference in the amount of players being injured? Whatever, that would be my take. The man has to go. I think it's not a good idea to limp on. I do believe that we will win against Huddersfield. I think players sort of do like him and they do want to keep him there, but not enough on sort of for 38 games a season. It's almost like coming us out of a spot every now and again. So that's really my opinion. I don't think that he will be sacked until after Huddersfield. I think that we're looking at a second later on.